Okay, people. So, man, it's just dropped on Prime Video, right? I'm talking about Are You There, God? It's me, Margaret. Now, this is written and directed by Kelly Fremon Craig, right? And it is an adaptation of Judy Blume's book of the same name, right? Which came out in 1970. 1970, I believe, right? Which, feels crazy. I mean, that's a long ass time ago, you know what I mean? Yeah, that's a while, man. That's a while. But, you know, it's all gravy. Okay, so what else? The film is produced by, let's take a look, shall we? Richard Sakai, Aldrich La Ali Porter, Kelly Fremon Craig, James L. Brooks, Amy Brooks, Judy Blume, and Julie Ansell. It is executive produced by Jonathan McCoy. It's co-produced by Colby Pines and associate produced by Jaran Rossiter. Hans Zimmer handles the music. Tim Ives, cinematography. Ona Flaherty and Nick Moore edit the piece. Melissa Kostenbuda was on casting duties, while Steve Sacklad, production design. Angela Stufa, art direction. Set decoration is Selena Van Den Brink, and Anne Roth was on costume design. Yes. So our cast, well, people, we have got the young Margaret Simon, played by Abby Ryder Fortson. Right, her mother Barbara is played by Rachel McAdams. Her dad Herb is played by Benny Safdie. Right, her aunt Sylvia is played by Kathy Bates. Right, we have then got do 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 um who are bum 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 no. All right, we're gonna go with a friend of Margaret's at school, Nancy Wheeler, who is played by Ellie Graham, right? Her mother, Gretchen, no. Her mother, Jan Wheeler, is played by Kate McCloggag, I think. Her brother, Evan Wheeler, that's Nancy's brother, is played by Landon S. Baxter. We've got Norman Fisher, played by Sims May. Right? There's Mr. Benedict, played by Echo Kellum. Laura Danker, played by Isol Young. Right, Freddie Barrett, played by Jacoby Swain. Philip Leroy, played by Zach Brooks. There's Mama Bunny, played by Mackenzie Joy Porter. Moose Freed, played by Aidan Wojtak-Hissong, Gretchen Porter, played by Catherine Mallon Kupfra. That's another of Margaret's friends. And Janny Lomas, played by Amari Alexis Price. Right, so that's a little friend group. Who else do we have? Rabbi Kellerman, played by Michael Wolk. Mrs. Lomas, played by Tanya J. McKellen. Mrs. Porter, played by Samantha LeBuc. Mr. Wheeler, played by Ethan McDowell. Mrs. Fisher, played by Sloane Warren. Mrs. Webster, played by Holly Saperstein. Then there's Barbara's parents, Mary Hutchins, played by Mia Dillon, and her husband Paul Hutchins, played by Gary Houston. Right, that's probably, yeah, I would say that's probably our main lot of the cast. Okay, so the gist of the flick, people. Margaret Simon is just 11, going on 12, when her family moves from New York City to Fartbrook, New Jersey. Margaret's mother is Christian and her father is Jewish. Margaret has been raised without an affiliation to either faith and does not practice an organized religion, although she frequently prays to God in her own words, beginning with saying, "Are you there, God? It's me, Margaret." She is beginning to feel uncomfortable with her lack of religious affiliation. For a school assignment, she chooses to study people's religious beliefs, hoping to resolve the question of her own religion in the process. Part of her study involves attending different places of worship to better understand religious practices and also to see if one of them might be right for her. She enjoys spending time with her Jewish paternal grandmother, Sylvia Simon, who loves her as she is and hopes Margaret will embrace Judaism after taking her to synagogue for Rosh Hashanah services. Okay. I mean, that's not fully true, right? Because Margaret doesn't just go, "Hold on, I don't have a religious affiliation. I should go get one." No, her new teacher, right, at school, who was he again? Mr. Benedict, right? Mr. Benedict, he's new. So he sets him on a task, right? 3 questions, just kind of to break down, what was it? I think, oh gosh, what are you good at, I think, or what are you looking forward to? What do you hate? And I forget what the other thing was. Now, on the thing, like she said, one thing that she doesn't care about was religion. And she says she doesn't have one. So he asks her about that. And it's just like, oh, wait, you don't have a religion? Huh. And that just got her thinking about it all. Right? Because I think he also asked her the question about her grandparents. Right? And she's like, oh, well, we don't know my mum's grandparents. Her grandparents, her mum's parents, right? And it's that conversation that then has her looking into everything else and wondering, posing those questions. You know what I mean? It's always weird when these synopsises are just all over the place, because I'm just like, did you not watch the film? Do you just write something on the basis of seeing a poster? I don't know. It's so fucking weird. But anyway, people, I really enjoyed this film. I thought this film was very nice, right? It was really just sweet and heartwarming, you know? Like, I don't know, Judy Blume wasn't she's not huge in the UK, or maybe where I'm from, she's not huge, you know what I mean? Because we didn't read any Judy Blume, but I talked to my US compadres, and they're all up on their Judy Blume, right? They did that shit in school, which is interesting. You know, so I feel that this film, when this dropped, a lot of my American friends were like, yo, oh shit, I remember that book. Boom. I didn't, but it sounded like it could be interesting. And I heard a lot about it. So I was like, you know what? I need to take a look. So it just dropped on Prime. So I was like, boom, let's do it. And I'm glad, man, because I think sometimes when you watch a film like this, a PG film, it is really written as if it's just for, like, let's say 5-year-olds, but I'm just like young kids. You know what I mean? And when I say written for young kids, because look, there's nothing wrong with writing something for a younger skewing audience, but they act like the kids are dumb. You know what I mean? And a lot of times it feels like they didn't really put the same effort in as you might do for something for adults. You know what I mean? It's like the conversations don't feel real, or it's not really a conversation. It's just a montage, right? A montage of speeches, right? Because it doesn't feel natural, right? And that's a problem. But when something is done well, when it's done well, you're like, okay, this is cool. And I feel it resonates more. You know what I mean? Because for adults to like something, it doesn't have to just have swearing in, right? Or sex. It just has to be written well, you know? And I think that's what people oftentimes forget. So you watch something like this and you can be like, yo, this was this was really good. Like, it reminded me of You Were So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah, where the actual relationships of these kids and a lot of the things that they're experiencing, it feels natural and you can relate to it. But sometimes with this kind of stuff, they'll throw in things that just seem mad outrageous, right? It kind of seems to be for shock or like, whoa, where you're just like, that was never a thing, right? No one ever talked about that shit growing up. Like, what are they saying here? So yeah, this was done, felt like it was done right, although I will say, right, we're following girls, you know what I mean? We're following 11, 12-year-old girls. So there's stuff that I'm just like, oh, was that a big thing? Right? Like they're talking and being like, oh, periods. I mean, yeah, I need to get my period. Like, have you got your period? I haven't got my period. And it's all of this. And it's just like, yo, people really that concerned with the period? Huh. Interesting. And seeing a group of 11-year-olds being like, I must improve my bust. It's very weird. It's very weird and off-putting, right? I mean, but it's the conviction of it. Be like, does that really work? I'm the living proof. And you're just like, these nutty kids, man. Oh shit. Because I like, as far as I know, right? And maybe there was, and just no one told me. But there was never a thing that boys would do to try and grow their dick. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know, what would you be doing? Like, pull, yank, thrust. I want a big dick, I must. I don't know, man. Like, you know what I mean? There's nothing that, as far as I know, boys did. But yeah, girls, like, that's not the first time I heard people talk about that shit, which is kind of crazy and funny. But so we see a lot of this stuff. We see her go try on her first bra. I mean, we don't see, don't get me wrong, it's not one of them films, people, but she's in the, talking about the experience and everything in the changing rooms, and just this whole weirdness about it, and like the uncomfortableness of trying to gauge things with her parents and all of that. Right, so we have that side of things, and then just the whole religious aspect of it was interesting too. But we also see the different sides of bullying, which was nice and interesting. So I just thought this film, like, it hit these topics and it did it well, right? Just the whole, you know are you there, God? It's me, Margaret. I was wondering, could you do this? And it's just having those conversations. But it's like, I thought it was interesting, when she's just like, yo, I've gone to synagogue, I've gone to the church, I've gone here. Why is it I only really feel you when I'm on my own? Right? And that's a big thing, because I think, when you're growing up, it's just like, go to Sunday school, go here, go there, bum, bum, bum. But if you actually read the fucking Bible, it's like, oh, I feel there's a bit when, oh, Jesus is like, yo, your church can be wherever you are. You know what I mean? It's just like, you don't need to be in a specific building, right? It's how you carry yourself, right? What you hold in your heart. And I feel that's what, what I mean? Margaret discovers in this film, right? In the book. So I just thought, you know what? They touched some good stuff. These relationships are showing well. The acting is real solid. It's real good. I enjoyed the fuck out of it, man. And good songs. I was vibing to the music as well. So, yo, if you are late to the party, on Judy Blume and the film, people, this is a good one. It's a PG, but you're not looking at it like, oh, it's a kid's film. No, it's just an enjoyable motherfucking film. You know what I mean? So, if you enjoy good storytelling, right? If you liked You Are So Not Invited to My Bar Mitzvah, then I feel you will definitely enjoy Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret. And it's now available for free on Prime, right? You can get it on all other VODs, Apple, the other ones, which have just jumped out of my head, but you can get it. So people, go watch it, because it's heartwarming. Like when they're all dancing at the end, you know what I mean? You just smile. It's just like, oh, that's real. That's nice, man. That's real fucking nice. You know what I mean? And there's a load of those moments in this film. So yes, go check it out. Are You There, God? It's Me, Margaret.